Where's everyone going? Bingo?
So, we are doing a crit play for RE4. If you remember, we actually started doing this a few months ago, but then we stopped doing it. Brandon and I are now in the same town again, which makes doing this easier, and we're actually going to play it instead. So, both of us have played this game extensively, and this is not just going to be a standard, okay, let's beat the game and we're done with it.
No.
This is going to be, we're doing a lot of kind of a critical focus doing this as a critical play, and we're also kind of doing some non-standard things with this playthrough. We are playing in a file that I have already beaten the game with, partially because we are going to play with non-standard weapons going through this. We're pretty much picking all of the bad guns, or supposedly bad guns, to see if they are actually as bad as people say they are.
It also depends on your point of view, because apparently I used a weapon throughout the entire game that Woody thought was absolutely terrible and never touched. So...
And going through, and we're also going to be doing some kind of exploit type stuff. We're going to be checking out areas you might not normally check out and getting some like optional cutscenes and weird things like that. And just kind of going on about, like, we both know a lot of like trivia about this game and development history and making some speculation as far as that goes. Anyway, so here we are. We're starting off RE4, and we are in rural Europe. When because the devs, people criticize them about this because you're in Europe, and the people here are speaking Spanish, but they are speaking Mexican Spanish and not Spain Spanish.
Yeah.
And so to dissuade those concerns, this game's technical location is in rural Europe.
Yeah, it's 100% an undisclosed location of Europe for that very reason.
I don't think they didn't seem to realize Spain's the only country in Europe where Spanish is actually spoken. It's not like there isn't like an enclave of Spanish-speaking natives in Germany.
That'd be pretty awesome. I mean, I like the tactical vest. I like how they kept that.
We're gonna have the tactical vest from the start. So.
See, this is something they removed out of the PS2 version. Actually, is any of the special costumes that you would normally get do not appear in cutscenes because they're not real time in the PS2 version.
Oh yeah,
it's all pre-rendered.
Yeah.
So that's one reason why I actually prefer playing on the GameCube, because it changes all that stuff.
Well, the other reason is the GameCube version is like, other than the PS2 version having some more content, the GameCube version is better in every way. It runs better. It doesn't have as bad of loading times. It looks better.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate reason.
And I believe
we are, just to be clear, we're playing the HD version on 360.
Yeah, just because it's easier and you get, well, a more filled screen for resolution purposes.
Although I will say, this version, the big flaw with this version is the controls. Because they didn't stick the standard RE4 controls, because it's not just based on the triggers. It's like a weird combination of triggers and bumpers. And I don't really like it as much for the aiming, and it took me a while to get used to.
Yeah, see, the last version of this I loaded was the GameCube version for when I did capture for my top 5 Resident Evil games.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to use the original versions of all of them, not just, whatever was there. Just made sense to me. So, the last controls I'm familiar with were the GameCube.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like your shot prep in this is, if I'm remembering right, it's one of the bumpers. And not the triggers. And there's no option to, like, just freely assign your controls around.
Which is an option I think every game should actually...
Yeah, that's one of those things, like, I'm baffled when stuff doesn't have that. Should be, I know you have, like, a set control scheme that you want people to use, and I can potentially see in certain games, like, having that locked in if it's, like, part of the difficulty to have a certain control scheme.
Definitely.
But, by and large, that's one of those things, you should be able to mess with that however you want. Same thing with the number of save files you have, too. Like, that infuriates me to no end that there are games that think, like, oh, no, you only need 3 save files for this. You don't need any more than that.
Yeah, I mean... It makes sense, for older games because there was, like, hardware limitations on cartridge and
Oh,
stuff.
look, it's Hunnigan.
It's Hurrigan?
So, this is too, if you notice, the ghosting on this is supposed to be because you're actually looking at the screen. Like, see the ghosting in the images?
Yeah.
This is supposed to be because it's actually trying to replicate as if you were really looking at the screen. As Leon. Like, this is a first-person view from Leon's perspective right now. Which, for some reason, if you had, like, a video communicator, I don't know why it includes you, too.
Right, and also I don't know why it would show the ghosting for her on her end, and Leon for his end, when you're the one looking at the screen. It should just be ghosting Leon over the whole thing.
Okay, I gotta remember my controls for this. Let's see. Okay, start, I have set as... So yeah, here's our weapons we're gonna be running with through this game. We're not using the Broken Butterfly, we're gonna use the Killer 7. That is... The Killer 7 is not like a shitty Magnum. I mean, it's a Magnum, so it's good. But, nobody ever uses it because you get the Broken Butterfly for free. And the Broken Butterfly is better, too, because it has more power, which is, like, the only thing you want a Magnum for.
And since you bring that up, I always knew you could get the Broken Butterfly for free. I'd always go by and always run back by it repeatedly. And then when I would get to the part where you get Ashley, I would never remember to go back and get the stupid thing. And it irritates me to no end that I can never remember that on any of my, like, 12-plus playthroughs I've done.
See, what is the proper rotation for this thing? This?
No.
This?
No.
Wait.
No. No. Yes.
There we go.
Good job.
Okay. We have the thermal scope for the rifle because, again, this is a file that's beaten the game. This rifle is maxed out. The Red 9 we are going to be switching fairly soon for a different handgun. And we also have the Mine Thrower, which in all of my playthroughs of RE4, I have not used for more than 5 minutes of dicking around with it.
It's fun to dick around with it, though.
Just to see what it does.
It's so much fun.
Also, if you do not organize your attaché case with all of the guns on the left, with their appropriate bullets along the top, and then healing items in the corner, and then grenades in the lower right, you are wrong. That's the only way to do it. So, yeah, here's the first thing. You can come back and check out this bridge back here, which is going to be gone in a minute. You get an extra cutscene for it.
See, with the
like, wow, Leon, you're dumb. You're going the wrong way.
See, for me with the attaché case, I wouldn't do my all my healing stuff in the upper right corner. I actually lined it at the upper left, going across the entire top. Because the last time I actually looked at my playthrough,
does this game have subtitles? I can't remember.
No, I don't think it does. But the last time that I actually was like loading up my constant, like I've gone through this repeatedly.
Yeah.
I had literally, I think like 10 of the fully mixed with yellow herbs lining the top. I'm like, huh. I don't need this anymore.
So yeah, here's your other optional. So yeah, you get an optional cutscene if you try to go back across the bridge, and you can come talk to these guys, who are, like, you know, it's sad they die in a minute, which, by the way, spoilers are going to be here. Like, don't watch this as if your first time ever seeing anything RE4 related. Well, you can, but it's a bad idea. You get a cutscene when you talk to both of them individually. You get a cutscene when you go back on the bridge and try to go the other way.
Oh, shoot all the crows. Shoot all the crows. One of them has a grenade. Might not be...
I don't care. No, I don't care about shooting all of them. We're playing with like a full file. We're gonna be powerful.
But still, I like getting the free grenades.
Most people just head into the house right here. Skip that. This is actually the truck that pushes those guys off the bridge. You can come and check it out. That's why you can't go along this path. Because it's one of those things that's funny because if you never run into this, like, it makes sense to go in the house and everybody goes in the house.
Right.
But there is actually a reason you can't go down the path more. Also, this is the, this model of the truck is the same one that eventually attacks you in the game, too. But it has a cab on it, when it does it the next time.
Right. Now, is there, a bird nest up here that I...
No, there is not a bird nest.
Okay, because I wasn't sure about that tree, because I never thought about it before. Like, I know where most of the stuff in this game is at this point, but it's like...
No, see, it's one of those funny things. Everybody talks shit about getting the treasure maps and stuff. I almost always get the treasure maps, because they're... It's not like a lack of knowing where stuff is, but they're dirt cheap, because if you get a treasure map and that lets you find one item, you have basically paid for the treasure map.
Yeah.
So yeah, gonna check out anything? There are various small items. Nothing particularly unusual. So yeah, the Spanish for this game is laden with vulgarity.
Excuse me.
Chicho actually tells a very funny story about this.
Oh, does he?
In not knowing that and playing RE4 in a primarily Spanish-speaking household, and everybody being shocked at the dialogue.
Oh, so apparently there's an awful lot of swearing.
Oh yes, the villagers' dialogue is basically nothing but swearing. Yeah.
Okay, I caught the last part. Which is funny because there's so little swearing in English, so
Yeah.
it's like Leon says
It's okay if
shit,
it's
I
in
think 3
Spanish.
times in the entire game. Oh,
he
bitch.
ducked. Yeah, this is kind of a powerful gun right now. So yeah, the truck starts up, and then that's what pushes them off the bridge.
Okay.
Oh no!
Look around.
Shifty and live. So one of the things I want to note at the start of this, that you can pay attention to this, and it's something that a lot of people know, obviously, playing through this game, but the animation in this game is amazing.
Is everything okay?
And the things they animate on characters are really impressive and really not done a lot. Like, pay attention to people walking up and down stairs because they're actually modeled a step on each stair. Pay attention to when people grab stuff in cutscene because they're actually modeled to grab the item.
Right, it's basically, there's a lot of detail they put into this. This was probably one of the most impressive games at the time its original
He's
release.
not a zombie!
Because, you know, him being a zombie would be normal.
Yeah. It seems like someone might have been eating here. So yeah, let's see, here's your other weird shit you can find in here, the big skull closet.
With all the maggots.
With all the maggots and everything. Which, it's weird because this seems to imply they're eating people.
Yeah, it does. It actually heavily implies cannibalism with that. It's like, that's just like... I'd almost... Well, maybe even not. Maybe that could just be like... I almost want to say it'd be like a trophy room, like where he just keeps the heads of all those he's killed. I mean, you can look at it in a number of different ways. Maybe he was a serial killer
This is one of
beforehand.
those things that you don't really consider, like, story-wise, too. This house being here really does not make any sense. Because it's, like, the only house in the game that's not in the village. It's just kind of here. It's, like, just... This is, like... It's an effective set piece, but it's clearly a set piece.
Well, and that would actually led a little bit of credence to my own little theory there. There's a chance that he was a serial killer beforehand. Hence all the skulls.
So yeah, you kill all those guys. The window I jumped out of probably isn't the best strategic option. I think if you actually jump out the window on the bottom floor, that's the better one. So yeah, you can also come back here and check this out. And you get another cutscene.
See, I would never do that. I just, like...
Well, yeah, it's like, it doesn't make any sense to do this. Which, that's one of those... The guys are alive right now. The, policemen. For, you know, the immediate next 5 minutes. They didn't die falling off the cliff.
No, which is...
And then, of course, this also gets you a literal broken bridge to prevent you from leaving the city. So it's like, there's a lot of stuff you'll see online. I'm like, why didn't they just leave the village? Well, that.
He couldn't.
It's physically impossible right now. I mean, you could probably climb down that ravine pretty easy, but video game logic.
Right.
This is where you actually get your, canon name for the, yeah. The guideposts actually have things written on them. You're going to Pueblo, which is just town. The name of the town is town.
I think it's the bird on the top there, on the right. I think that one has a grenade.
Where?
It's further down.
All
Right there. One of those two. There's one
that
on the
person
ground.
on the signpost?
I believe it's
Okay.
a signpost, but the one it could be that one or the one on the ground. But there are 2 of them there. And I can never remember which one.
So, this beginning section is going to be unusually easy. Oh, we got mine darts already! Yay! I'm so excited to actually use the mine thrower for something. Okay, I gotta remember... Okay, select is options. Start is my actual menu.
You're just gonna, like...
Well, I want to use the mine thrower. Oh!
Nice! It was the one on the... It was the one on the post.
Oh, that was so good! That was so much better than I intended that to be.
And that should be a frag grenade there. And
Oh, that is a cool reloading animation. Why haven't I used the mine thrower more?
keep that grenade handy for Elegante. Because... you can basically you just toss a grenade at all the birds in that one area,
Well, yeah.
and you get so much money.
You can actually, well, the better thing to do it is you don't actually need to kill the birds, because the birds actually die to anything. You can use a flash grenade.
Oh, really? I didn't know
you
they
can
died
use
to
anything.
anything.
So, this is one of those things that I almost never see anybody talk about this. These signs are actual warning posts for traps. These are literal signs to let you know that there are tripwires and bear traps ahead. We're going to go ahead and free Huey, the dog from Haunting Ground.
I got that in the other room.
This game is so weird because this, like, it has crossovers with other stuff. Like, we have the Killer 7 Magnum right now. And it's like these weird minor crossovers that, like, you need to know it's a crossover for it to actually be any kind of advertising. So yeah, we got another town sign here.
And on that same note, there was an interview I looked at with Kenji Inafune, and he pretty much, like, it was regarding the fact that Mega Man is in the Onimusha Blade Warriors. Like,
yeah.
And he said, pretty much if you want to cross over with anything at Capcom, just walk over to their office and ask. And you can get permission that easily. So
Scudda's ridiculously overpowered right now, because I am killing dudes in one shot, regardless of where I hit them. So there's a lot of signs just that just say Pueblo.
I think there's a...
Nice
That's not a lady, it's a
European
man in there, I think.
Yeah, there's a
The lady's
here.
pinned with a pitchfork.
There's no sex discrimination here. Yay! That is such, like, an inappropriate line of, like, there's no sex discrimination here. I'm making a joke about this woman who got stabbed through the face by a pitchfork by evil cultist villagers. I guess we gotta keep it light.
You know, there's a couple of other inconsistencies here, too, because it's like...
I like the theory I've heard before that, like, Leon's dumb humor is how he copes with everything he's been through.
It makes enough sense, though. What was it? There was...
So, since I have a rifle, I've always wanted to see if I can actually do this.
Oh, I've tried. You can't. You're looking for the guys?
Apparently they don't exist, yeah. Because, yeah, there's some guys who run and, like, warn the village that you're coming.
Yeah.
I know there's stuff in there.
There's
but...
a guy behind there, too.
Oh, come on, buddy.
He dodges
hey, look,
into
it's the
view.
same as the first guy.
Hey, look, he's the same as the first guy.
You'll also notice, too, all these guys in this
Dead.
first area, they're programmed to not pop their heads yet.
Right.
Oh, I have no rifle ammo, that's why I can't reload.
Oh, it's also because it's full.
Let's see.
Do not discard.
The thermoclip, I'm not going to get it till the end of the game again. I actually hate using the thermoclip for anything other than shooting,
So notice, though,
generators.
here's the thing, too. If I remember right, the automatic rifle, or the semi-auto rifle, actually has a different model when you have the thermal scope equipped, but it looks like this one does not. Or
yeah,
does
no,
it?
no, it doesn't add it to this one. It doesn't add it to this one. You can use it, though. Technically,
Yeah.
it is doable.
See, and here, the rest of the consistencies, though, with, like, the whole,
Sorry
like,
to hear that. I'm sending you a playing manual. Hope you find it useful.
like, thing with people, like, actually kind of lends to my other theory that I just came up with about, like, one guy being a serial killer. Like, all the skulls, it's like, they've been eating people. Well, it looks like they function normally. I mean, this shows them working as a normal
this
town.
is kind of weird, because I don't really understand why they need to work in a normal town, because apparently they don't need to eat, like, if you look around, all the, like, none of the food is anything. They apparently just eat chicken eggs or something.
Yeah, I mean, there's...
Because, yeah, that's one of the policemen that got killed up there. He gets stabbed through on their, like, town fire pit.
Yeah, it's their burn pit. They've clearly got the permit, right?
That's the church back there that you eventually go to in what is clearly just a flat picture in the skybox.
Yeah. Now, are you going to go up to the bell tower, or are you going to not risk that?
Well, I'll put it like, I don't really have any healing items, but I'm ridiculously overpowered. So.
Right. Well, it's not really going to matter with healing if you go up there and the chainsaw
Okay,
man comes down.
this thing here, this rifle, this thing has one of the greatest reload animations of all time.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's like... It reloads like
This
an
is one of those
SKS.
guns, like, it's not really good, like, compared to the other sniper rifle, but it's so much cooler.
Yeah.
That makes it worth using.
Like, it's literally you utilizing an ammo clip, not like a magazine, because you actually have to load it in the traditional manner. Now
There
you're
we
out of
go,
ammo.
that's what I was trying for.
Nice.
So yeah, there's a couple of like funny hint things you can do around this village of like triggers that will happen during this counter. Obviously, if you go in the building to the left, Salvador comes. Everybody knows that. If you go up this tower, you will actually start getting hit with fire bombs.
Someone will just be Molotoving the hell out
it's
of you.
it's the guy from up on the left over there.
He's right above you. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna trigger Salvador, and then I'm just gonna kind of run around the village a little bit.
Fair enough.
This is one of those sections, I always love seeing people play this section, and I mentioned this in the original video we did on this, actually, that because everybody has a different way to play through this section.
Right.
And it's one of the only sections in a video game I've seen where, like, there is such a divergence in strategy for what people use.
And they all work.
And, well, a lot of them work, and it's just cool because it's kind of like, it's an insight into how people play through stuff. Because everybody's strategy, like, when you talk to them, they all have different reasons for what they do.
Yeah, like, you're actually... I never leave this room. Well, not this room, but I go upstairs, because upstairs is where you get the shotgun. And there's, you'll see it when you head up there, too. There's a placement between, like, the bed and the stairwell. And I always stand right there and just funnel them all directly in at me. Because they have to get right in front of you to be able to hit you with at least a chainsaw. So, yeah, that's the more important one to worry about.
You know, I don't need this, but I'm just going to take it so I can sell it. I'm just going to combine some of these herbs.
Actually, you can just move stuff. Okay.
Well, we're gonna have an abundance of healing items in this playthrough.
That's true. We're gonna be OP for like half the game.
We're gonna be OP for this entire game. I'll put it like this. I'll just say it straight up front. If I die in this, I'm gonna be embarrassed. Because I shouldn't be dying on a cleared file of this game. That shouldn't happen. I might die on purpose a couple of times to show off what certain deaths look like. I think people are coming inside now.
Yeah, so right in here on the left is where I usually stand.
I think so. Oh, yeah, there's
I'll do that, and then I'll get right between the bed and the stairwell.
See, my usual strategy is to come out here. Because one of the safest places you can get to is back up here.
You do know they can actually put up a ladder here, right? I'm pretty sure they can.
No. No,
that's when you come back later.
You sit here, and they have to approach you from that way.
Okay, yeah, because it might be... It's either a different village or later on, there's a very similar build, if not this same area when you come back here, where there's a ladder there. But I could be thinking the Mercenaries map version 2. Shoot him in the eye. The only thing that's scary is...
Oh! Aww, I didn't get to see it. Aw, damn it.
Dude, that's gonna suck.
I can see why I maybe haven't used the mine thrower as much. Oh wow, I've never even seen the ammo box.
Yeah, it looks like a missile crate almost.
Because this is what you can do here that's really good, is you can just fuck off
Yeah.
if they get too close. So yeah, let's go up and see if we can get some Molotovs thrown at us.
I don't hear the chainsaw anymore, so Salvador's definitely dead.
I don't know if I've killed him, because mines apparently don't do a lot of damage. Like,
but you hear the chainsaw as long as he's alive. Oh, nope, he's still okay. Oh, hey, look, he's up top there. He's just standing there, staring at you.
They all are.
Dude, shoot him in the face with a mine again. In fact, shoot him in the face twice with a mine.
Oh! Yeah, I'm getting Molotovs thrown at me now.
They just stop and stare at you until you get down from there.
Yeah, no, the Molotovs too. I don't believe anybody is actually throwing those.
Yeah, I think they're just getting dropped on you. Oh wow, that has kickback power on everybody.
Yeah, the Red 9 is really, really good.
Very good.
Oh, and there we go. I don't actually know if I killed Salvador.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
The church.
Oh. Right.
That's actually what they're saying. I read a whole translation thing on what all the lines translated in this are. Because I actually know quite a bit of Spanish, but their Spanish is like hard to understand because it is a foreign language, and then it is also like guttural monster speak. Where's everybody going? Bingo. Whoa. So people talk about like Resident Evil casts for stuff a lot. If they make, I mean, they made Resident Evil movies, but those don't count. If they made like good Resident Evil movies, then I really want Keanu Reeves to play